Welcome to this Fabricville tutorial. Today we are going to make this little girl dress, which will be perfect for the festive season. To make this dress we will need the Butter Style 9379 pattern, an erasable pen, some pins, scissors, a 35 cm invisible zipper, some fusible interfacing fabric for the dress, and contrasting fabric for the collar, and assorted thread. To start, I'm going to pin the pattern pieces on the fabric, respecting the grain line, and I cut them out. I transfer the notches that will be useful for the assembly of the dress. I have serged the sides and the center back of the bodice, the shoulders, the lateral and bottom edges of the sleeves, the sides, the bottom and the center back of the skirt. I'm going to cut the collar twice in white cotton fabric. And once in fusible interfacing. I'm going to interface one of the two parts of the collar. I start the assembly by laying the bodice backs onto the front, right sides together. I stitch the shoulders and sides. Then I press the seams open. I lay the backs of the skirt over the front, right sides facing, and I stitch the sides. I also press the seams open. I'm going to pin the bodice to the skirt, matching centers and lateral seams. I stitch. Then I serge the layers together, and I press the seam allowance toward the top. I'm going to stitch the zipper. For more details, please check our invisible zipper tutorial. Once the two zipper tapes are stitched, I finish by stitching the center back seam, and I press the seam open. I lay the collar pieces right sides together and I stitch the edges together. I trim the seam allowance, then trim the corners at an angle and clip along the curves. I turn it right side out and give it a press. I lay the two pieces of the collar on the neck edge, centering it at the center front of the bodice, and I stitch. I fold the bias tape in half and I press it. I lay it over the collar with the edges toward the seam allowance. I pin it in place and I stitch it. I trim the seam allowance and I fold the bias to the wrong side and I stitch the bias to the top at 0.7 cm from the neckline. I fold the sleeves in two, right side inside, and I stitch the lateral seam. Then I press it open. I'm going to stitch two base lines between the two notches on the sleeve head. Then I slightly pull on the thread together just a bit. I pin the sleeve to the armhole, matching the lateral seams and the notches. Now I stitch, then serge these layers together. To finish, I fold the bottom of the sleeves and the skirt up 1.5 cm and press. And I stitch the hem. And the dress is ready. Happy holidays and thanks for watching.